right, this is one I've been looking forward to bringing to you guys, mostly just because I wanted him in my hands. This is ToyWorld Swampert. And I had Hardbone for a while, and wasn't... I mean, he was good. He was a solid figure, but I mean, I ended up getting rid of him. I haven't tried their Brainwave, but as soon as I saw pictures of Swampert, I think I squeed like a little girl, like literally. Because, one, Skullcruncher was one of my favorite Decepticon headmasters when I was a kid. Like Autobots, it was Brainstorm and Chrome Dome, and Decepticons, it was Snapdragon and Skullcruncher. Partly because those are the two I had as a kid, partly because just he's a fun alligator. So when they showed him and we saw his robot mode, he was a big chunky robot. Like, aesthetics on this thing, I think, are just great for an updated Skullcruncher. I really, really like him, and was super excited to get him in hand. I did have a little bit of, like somebody reported, there's some paint rub. I did have a little bit of minor paint rub on these little fins, but at the same time, I opted for an as-is box, which, as you can see, has seen better days, so that may have contributed to some of that somewhat. It's very minor, it's not a big deal, and I can touch that up with some gray paint. But all in all, like, other than that, he's a really solid figure, and I like him a lot. Not perfect, there's a couple little things that I wish worked a little better, but nothing dramatically horrible with him. So yeah, he's an alligator. There's a little cockpit here that opens, and his little Grax, I think is his name, comes out, and he is, let me see if I can get the focus here. If you look at his face, he is the happiest headmaster. Got a big old smile, and same with his robot mode face. Just a happy dude. Here he comes out. And you got the alligator, and the alligator's cool and posable. I do wish the head pegged in a little bit better, because if you move it, it allows for some posability, but it pegs in right here, and it likes to pop off those pegs with just a little bit of pressure. But you can open his mouth, and inside his mouth is a hidden gun. You can see that in there. So he's got a gun mouth, which is cool, and that just hides up in the roof of his mouth if you just want to have him be a chompy dude. And his legs are all posable. Snap back on there. Oh, that's because these aren't together. There we go. He's got posable legs. They rotate up here at the hinge. They rotate here. The feet are on ball joints, so you get some decent posability out of those as well. If you want him to have a slightly longer tail, you can flip out the sword blades here. If you want him to be just slightly longer, you can do that. Entirely up to you. But yeah, big, green, and fuchsia, purplish alligator. Transform him, you obviously unattach his head here. Split the tail. Just like on the old toy. Raise up. You want to open these panels underneath his legs here. Actually, lift this up. Flip this up first. There we go. Flip those panels up first, then open these up. And you can see there is his thighs, and just like on the old toy, you flip these down. These little panels here flip up inside there. Lift these up a little bit. These are going to fold down to the side. And then these panels you want to leave that folded down so you get some knee articulation, otherwise it'll bump up against the knee. But leave that folded down, but fold the lower panel back in here on the back of the leg. And the feet, this is kind of cool. This whole thing becomes the foot. You want to flip this piece down like that, rotate it, rotate this around, rotate the foot around, and then fold it so this foot piece goes into the foot. And there's his big, beefy robot mode foot. And then you rotate it, because you want this to come right, like rotate it right here, because you want that peg done out here to peg in inside here. And then once you get about right here, you can rotate the foot around so it faces the proper way. You want the green toe in the front here. And then fold it up and tab it onto there, and that piece comes down to cover the ankle. And there you go. And he does have some ankle tilts there, or at least some toe tilts and some heel tilts on there. And then that folds down on the side. And same over here. Come on, line up. Pull that down. And there you're done with the legs. I wish the ratchets weren't quite as, like I said, you've got there or you've got right next to each other. Sturdy in both modes. I just wish there was a ratchet kind of in between there. I would like to have him in a kind of a wider leg stance than right next to each other, but not quite as splitty as that is. Going up here to the top, once this is unpegged, you take these shoulder pieces and they actually click out a couple clicks to the side. Come on, there we go. And then once they click out a couple clicks, you rotate them down over the body. And you bring them down. And these panels right here, these are actually pretty cool. So you rotate this around, and I find the instructions show you to, say, flip this up first, then open this panel and flip the fist out. I find if you do it halfway through, like once you get about here, open that up, push the fist through just to get it out. It's way easier to get it to flip around that way than wait until this is all the way closed and then try to flip it out. You can do it, it's just a whole lot easier this way. Get him to stand up. And then the alligator head comes down. You kind of collapse this whole joint system up into the alligator head. Just like that, forms the chest. And then these back here, you just kind of rotate so they're sitting like that, and you position these however you want. Now there is like a little hand piece or something in here that I guess could function as a holder. I've had to use a key or I can't quite get my finger on it, but like nail clippers. But there's a little piece right here that flips out that I'm not sure what it's for. Like I said, I guess you could conceivably use it as a holster for some extra weapons or at the guns if you don't want them to hold them back here. But just know that there is a little piece under there. Yeah, flip the legs out. Just sit behind the arms. And then you take this guy, rotate his lower legs around, peg them together, fold him up, and he plugs right in here on top of the body. And the shoulders, you can actually, once you get them folded down, you can actually pop them back in so they sit a little closer to his body if you don't like them sitting out like that. You lose a little bit of range of motion, especially going up like that, but nothing serious if you want to collapse those back in towards the body. And there he is in robot mode. He comes with the two pistols, and the two pistols can actually plug on to the sides of his alligator mode. I forgot to show that. But they peg into his hips in alligator mode. And he can hold his pistols. And again, you can store them back there if you want. I'm still not entirely sure what those little feet inside the feet are for. And then these pieces down here actually twist off. These joints are a little tight at first, but once you use them a little bit, they loosen up and they're not as bad. And I'm not noticing any stress marks, despite the fact that a lot of the joints were really, really tight when I first got them. Stress mark-wise, I'm not having any issues. So these tail pieces, you can actually flip up and use as swords just like this. Although, actually, I don't know if that would peg in, actually. Oh, no, okay, that peg will hold it. So you can have a big sword, or the tail piece itself does separate. And you can get, although again, getting this piece out is... There we go. You get kind of a serrated dagger. You get a couple different daggers out of the same sword. Or same tail piece. So you can get two daggers out of one tail piece. If you choose. And so you can arm him with a sword and a gun, or a gun and a dagger, or two daggers, or however you want to do it. Lots of armaments. And then the last but not least, if you want to have more of a G1 look, fold this down. You can actually pop the fist cut. Well, go ahead and pop the fist off. The fists just plug in. You can unplug the fists here. Unplug these from the shoulders. And you can turn his head all the way around. I just popped his legs off. Pop those legs back on. Now, of course, I'm going to drop one on the floor while I'm trying to do this. Hold on. I'm going to have to hunt for that. Give me a second. Alrighty, we found it and have reattached his head. We can rotate that around. You can bring the arms forward this way. Since you unplugged the fist, you can plug them in so they're on the proper way on this side of the body. Where did my other fist go? It's not attached to either of the guns. It's not attached here. There it is. And you can turn it around and give him a little bit more of a G1. And rotate his waist around. So you can give him a G1 robot mode look with the where this cockpit kind of simulates the power meter, headmaster power meter on the front, and that looks more like his G1 self. Granted, you do have to remove the extra alligator arms, and there's not really any place for them to peg in. They don't have. I mean, I guess you maybe could plug them in like that. They fit the side of the. Oh, you know what? It looks like they might fit right here in the side of the alligator mode head. So you can actually fold those. Oh, cool! You can actually fold those up into a backpack and store them in this alternate robot mode. That's cool. Before I was looking for a way to attach them, and I didn't even think to look up here on the alligator head. So you can fold those back there. Nice! There we go. And again, give him his sword or his pistol. You can store this other pistol down here on his hip, right where the tail was. So, however you want to do it, a lot of configurations. But yeah, there he and so there he is in his more G1 robot mode. And yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with him. He's you got a couple different configurations. He's a lot of fun to play with, and like I said, really solid and put together. Aside from where I popped the ball joints off, but they are on little ball joints here on the headmaster. Right there, the headmaster is pretty much the same as all the other ones, posability wise. It's just deco and sculpt. That's different. Some size comparisons with some other headmasters. Here he is with Fans Projects Brainstorm. So he's much larger. He's actually even a little bigger than Warden, which is impressive. Here he is with his fellow Decepticon Weirdwolf, again from Fans Project. Here he is with the Walmart Safubi Prime, just because I like having him around and he's fun. Here, just for a modern toy, here he is with Age of Extinction, Optimus Prime, Invasion Optimus. And here he is with the BotCon Scorponok. Just to give you an idea of size-wise, which is the Energon Scorponok mold. But yeah, all in all, a really solid figure. I'm very, very happy with it. I actually ended up. I'm going to end up with two because I forgot I had one pre-ordered. That guy came in stock, and I'm like, "Give me that!" And I'm like, "Oh right, I already had one pre-ordered." So I'll have a second one that I'll probably get rid of at some point, but or maybe just keep in box. Who knows? But yeah, there it is. ToyWorld Swamper. They're H-03. Definitely gets my thumbs up because he's really, really awesome, and I like him a lot. So there you go, ToyWorld Swamper.